Today I'm going to talk to you about how your thoughts actually create your reality and the science to prove it. Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome to another video. Now, have you ever noticed how you maybe are interested in a car and you start to do some research and you find a make and you find a model? You might even have the exact color you want and you're really interested in this car. You might not necessarily be in the situation to buy it, but you're really like this car, right? It is like consuming your mind, right? So then you start to drive around, you start to go out, maybe in a parking lot, and you just start seeing this car. You start seeing the same make, the same model, like the one that you were just researching. It seems like they went from 0 to 100, like out of nowhere, suddenly they're everywhere. Or maybe it is a type of shoe you want and you looked them up online, maybe they're in your shopping cart, but you haven't actually pushed buy yet. Or it could be actually a location. Maybe you want to go on a dream vacation. There's a destination that you really want to go to, but you can't quite afford it, or maybe you can't work out the circumstances, but you start seeing ads everywhere for it. You start looking around and people are bringing it up in conversation and you're just like, how is this happening, right? So no, you aren't getting stalked. It's actually something that's happening inside your brain. It's due to the reticular activating system. Not a very easy bunch of words to say, but really important for your life. Now, what is the reticular activating system? We'll call it RAS for short. It's basically a bundle of nerves located in the base of your skull. And why in the world should this matter to you, right? So to really dilute it and put it in as concise phrase and idea as possible, it's just a filtration system, right? So it filters out everything that's not important and it only takes in what you deem important. You're the one who gives it the guidelines and the parameters of what's important. So basically your unconscious mind can take in 40 million, between 10 and 40 million bits of information per second. 10 to 40 million bits of information per second, right? Now your conscious mind can only handle 40 bits, 40, okay? So imagine that. I don't know if you've ever had a computer in which maybe it's an old computer, maybe it's one that needs updating, right? So you're gonna go on a program and you double click it and all it's doing is buffering the whole time. You can't use any of the system because it's just buffering. So this is kind of what I imagine. If we didn't have the RAS, our system would be so infiltrated and so overwhelmed with information, we couldn't actually process what we were experiencing. So we have this mechanism that's really helpful, and it basically filters all the other stuff out that's not important, and allows you to continue on in life, processing and going about, so you're not just bottled down, just like sitting there like, what do I do? There's all this information and not able to process it, right? So basically, you can think of the RAS, like I said, as a filter system. It's the gatekeeper of what actually goes into your conscious mind, what you're actually able to perceive. Okay, so let me give you some ideas of what that means in your life. One easy thing I could do right now is just give you the example of, it reminds me of Airbnb. I don't know if you've ever gone on the website and you are able to click on there, right? You're like, okay, do I want the whole apartment, the house? Do I want just a room, right? That's one variable. How many people are going to be coming? What price range do I want? Where's the location? What's the check-in options? I mean, there's so many different filter systems, right? So you go through there and you make it exactly like you want, okay? So the RAS is a lot like that, except for it is filtering out your beliefs. It basically filters out anything that doesn't correlate with your beliefs. So if you think that you have a certain belief about yourself, right? You have a certain belief and idea about the way your life should go. It's basically going to filter out everything that does not align with that. You literally will not be able to see it. Now, if you go back to the car example, before you brought that into your awareness, before you thought that was an important thing, your mind filtered it out and you couldn't actually see it. That's why suddenly, out of nowhere, all these cars, all these shoes, all these, situations and where this subject is everywhere, you couldn't actually see or hear it. Okay, how about another example? You're out in a really crowded place, right? People are talking, they're having a conversation, and then out of nowhere you hear them talk about maybe a movie, or maybe you hear them say a lyric, and all of a sudden, even though you're in mid-conversation, your brain picks up on that because that's something that's important to you, okay? So the same thing too can happen if all of a sudden you hear your name and it's like, what? Who's that? Who's talking to me, right? So how is it that you're just able to be in the middle of something and go about it, and then all of a sudden, clear as day, you hear it? So that's how powerful the RAS is. It is the gatekeeper of what is allowed into your conscious mind. Now, if you think about it in terms of how this can be helpful versus how this can be detrimental, right? It doesn't have a priority in the sense of it's not saying this is good or bad. It has no idea of that. It is only taking the values that you've given it. So if you think you're not an attractive person, right? If you think you're too overweight, or you think you're something on your face, it's too big, you know, my teeth aren't great, my nose is too big, whatever it is, you literally will filter out anything that it goes against that, because you believe it. You will only hear things that support that belief. Okay, so you go out and maybe this person, they find you attractive, they're interested in you, but you can't hear that or see that because it does not go in alignment with your belief system. And so you need to find people that are going to make fun of you, or, you know, say something that's going to perpetuate the belief. So another thing can happen, right, in the other capacity where you really believe in yourself, right? And you believe in this dream, you believe you're capable of this thing, and so you go out in the world and you're only going to be able to hear and take in information that's going to support this. Somebody might say something and you're like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. As opposed to somebody's like, wow, I believe in you, or you find an inspiring thing and you apply it to your life. You hear somebody say a comment, you're suddenly surrounded by all these people who are supportive, right? Because you're allowing that to happen. You're open, your sensory input can actually take in that information and take in those experiences. Whereas opposed if you didn't believe in yourself and you really doubted, you literally would not be able to see the opportunities, okay? So if you're out if you go to a networking thing, so say you're looking for funding, right? You have an idea and you need money to help get it off the ground. If you don't really believe in yourself and you believe that you're going to fail, when you go to a networking opportunity, a networking event, or something that's going to help propel you, you will literally only get either in conversations, be around individuals, or get in experiences that will perpetuate that belief. So people who either can't help you or will just tell you how it's a bad idea, a wrong decision, as opposed to potentially if your RAS was set to find the people who can support me, find the people who can fund me, you're in the middle of a conversation and just as before you can hear your name or the song lyric, you will hear the opportunity, oh my gosh, they're talking about this, and you can follow that and continue to build the idea that yes, this is possible, yes, I do believe in it, and then you'll find new opportunities. And as the RAS is constantly shifting, constantly, basically you're telling it what to take in, and then it's showing you, oh, this is available, this is available. In that small window of 40 bits per second, when it has 40 million, 10 to 40 million, okay? That is a lot of information, no matter what side that sits on. Going through all that information and finding, okay, this is what you want this is important. So just think of how impactful that can be, right? For you to be able to go out into the world and know what you want, right? And so one question might be, well, okay, I have this filtration system. I'm not really aware of what beliefs I'm giving it. So one thing you could do is watch my other video about how to begin to reprogram your subconscious. And once you start to do that, every morning, go over. You hear people constantly talk about vision boards, talk about writing your goals down. Here's a scientific reason why you should do that. Because you're reminding yourself, you're programming your RAS what to look for, what is important, what you can do, what information that you deem valuable enough to filter out all the other stuff and only give you those 40 bits per second that align with the goals. What is your dream? What is your vision? Something really, really impactful you can do is have that movie in your head and play it, right? So you hear about visualization, but you want to be in that. You want to feel it in your body. And that's going to give your RAS the information on what to filter, how it should come in, and that sort of thing. So this is an incredible opportunity for you to start filtering out what you don't care about in your past and any of that stuff, and now change your filtration system, change the course of your life by using a science-based, that bundle of nerves. Yes, the RAS does a lot of other stuff, but this specific function of it can literally change your life, because it will literally change what you can see, change what you can hear, and allow your subconscious to pick it out of these millions of bits of information per second and show you in those small 40 bits per second how you can start to change your life. I would encourage you to start to try this. Don't believe me for my word. Put it out there and experiment on your own. I always ask you to take everything and see how it applies to your life. And I think trusting your intuition and seeing how it affects your life and adjusting from there is the best thing you can do. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please click the like below. If you want more information, simply hit the subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.